What's up, Goats? How are you? Hope you are having a wonderful June 12th. It is your shepherd coming in to you. And of course, we are on the Fantasy Goats YouTube channel. I'm joined by, of course, my partners in crime. Got the Commissioner Rhino. How are you today, Commissioner?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. A lot of craziness happened around my work today. a lot, a lot. The heat gets up and the cycles come out, man. That song Houdini did. Freeze come out at night. Uh-uh. No. Freeze come out during the day up here.
You told me, you told me, or I saw that you posted about one person that was being arrested because she was she wasn't dressed appropriately, right?
Oh no, she was in bra underwear, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to reply. I wanted to reply to that comment. How do the officers know that wasn't a bathing suit?
Yeah, it was bra and underwear.
You know, what if that was what if there was a pool there?
He does have a
And
point.
there's not a pool anywhere near
Nearby.
where I'm working at,
All
bro.
right, but I think you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
I,
I know.
all right. Like, I hope she has good representation in the municipal court where she was taken to. Whew. JX Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, goats and does. How are you today, JX Fantasy?
I'm doing good, man. I said, like always, I'm blessed to be here. Yeah, I'm ready to talk about something other than work. I've had meetings all day, so I'm ready to talk about something I actually like. I like talking about,
Yeah,
So
I hear you.
I want to say a wonderful good evening to the one and only Sniper Mel, who is in her pool today. Now, she does have a pool where she lives. And I'm just curious if she caught the beginning of the conversation, whether or not the police officers mistakenly thought that the person that was being arrested was not in her bathing suit. Sniper Mel knows all about bathing suits if she was in a swimming pool. The type of bathing suit we'll leave for off air. As far as Sniper Mel is concerned, we don't need to know that. It's not something that is of time critical material here for the Fantasy Goats. Oh, go, gosh, that's okay. It's all right, Sniper. How about some news and notes before we get into our topic for today, which is going to be, of course, we want to identify at least 10 players whose ADPs are not appropriate. I'll just leave it at that. If you draft some of these players that we are going to bring up today, they could potentially sink your fantasy season before it even gets started.
Yeah.
Of course, that's like, all right, well, Shepard, how can it sink your fantasy team before they even take a snap? It's true. It's true. However, a lot of what we're doing, a lot of what we all do, really, is forecast and project
Yep.
and predict. It always doesn't come in 100%, of course not. But we do have to at least take into account, past performances, previous seasons. Then you measure in all the data that we have on the player. And nowadays, there's tons and tons and tons of advanced data on players. Then we want to factor in, of course, what we've seen with our eyes and the talent or some deficiencies, so on and so forth. But when it's all said and done, when the cake is in the oven being baked, out comes drafts. Mock drafts, real drafts, all before the season gets started, and where we think players should be going. And a lot of that has to do with what I just mentioned. All these factors. So yeah, it's 10 players, ADPs that may potentially Sink your season. I definitely had a suit on. I did some laps. Very nice. Good that you did your laps and exercise. Exercise is great. You could skinny dip in the lake or the ocean. Yeah. Yes. All right. You know what? If we're gonna continue on with this subject matter, I'm gonna have to change the title of the show. Um, I may even just take this off air. We're going to kill the live feed, and it'll just be like the four of us talking about this. Nevertheless, how about some news and notes to get my mind out of the gutter?
Let's do it. What you got?
Well, I mean, there was some interesting sound bites coming out of at a Giants camp from one of our favorites. That would be Tyrone Tracy. He's in for it, baby. He's in. He knows that this is a grind. He knows that there's competition. He thinks that it's healthy, I suppose. He didn't use that word, healthy. And I'm paraphrasing the whole thing without looking, because this was a video clip, obviously. Bottom line is, he knows that he has to be at his absolute freaking best with a dude that's breathing down his back. And that would be Cam Scatterbrains. Cam Scatterboo, ladies and gentlemen. I think, and we've said it before, we'll probably say it again. I think this is going to be some sort of RBBC. I don't know what the snaps percentage, the share will be. I don't know that, JX and Rhino. It could very well be 50-50. It could very well be 70-30. I don't know that yet. I do believe that Tyrone Tracy will get the first crack at it. I do.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do. But just hearing him acknowledging the fact that he knows, he like, I gotta be at my best. I gotta play with like a sense of urgency. Again, paraphrasing, Sniper, those weren't the exact words. I encourage you to take a look at the clip. I encourage you guys to look at all types of mini camp, press clippings, coach clippings. This is the shit that we want. Excuse me. I don't need to hear from Tom, Dick, and Harry what someone else is saying. Sometimes, yes, we read it because we come across it, but more so than not, I'd rather just get it directly from the source. One other point of interest regarding the Giants is he senses like a different aura in the building. He sees that, he senses that it's, different energy. And I'm pretty sure that is the word that he said. Different energy from last year. I mean, damn, I should hope so. I really should hope so.
Is it the, oh shit, we better do good or we're going to lose my job energy?
I interpreted a little bit differently. Coming from him, I would think that he senses a different type of energy based on bringing in Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Jameson Winston too.
And perhaps James, yeah, a little bit more veteran presence.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Maybe a little bit more personality. Maybe it could be coming from Darius Slayton. It could be coming from Malik. Again, he didn't mention anyone specific that I caught. Again, this was a clip. I'm sure that there was a lot more to the interview or to his portion of him in front of the microphone. What else? What else happened? CJ Stroud seems fine.
Yeah, he's good to go. I read up that too. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about as far as his arm goes. Yeah, he's perfectly fine.
He seems like he's fine. Exactly. And someone who may not be 100% fine, but Coach Sean Payton said that he will be 100% fine. Someone that we just talked about the other night, and that is Devon Vele. Nicked up, nicked the shoulder. He cut the reporter off. Basically, he cut the reporter off because he said that that's nothing, and that's it. He said, he didn't want additional line of questioning regarding Veal. He's like nothing to it, and that's it. Something along those lines. All right, there's plenty more other little nuggets throughout the league. I saw rumors, and I mean like rumors regarding Amari Cooper, possibly. I mean, he's available.
I saw that Aaron Rodgers point blank said, "I need Amari Cooper here."
But did he say it? That's my point.
I don't know. That's the word. That's what I read that he told Steelers that he said that I want Amari Cooper here.
Right. See, like I saw the Rodgers
Mhm.
presser or him in front of the microphone as well, and like there was no talk of him demanding or anything along those lines about Amari Cooper. He may have. I didn't see it. Number one, number two. I don't want to hear it from from a third party aggregator. I'd rather hear it from Aaron Rodgers, or I better hear it from like somebody else that's like on the ground there.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the, and I didn't hear that today. Like I said, maybe it was too many meetings. I just was locked in, but I didn't hear that. And if that is the case, why isn't he on the Steelers yet? This isn't this isn't an Aaron Rodgers quarterback situation where he has the ability to sit on the sideline for a long time and then he'll come up to speed. No, like a wide receiver, corner, those type of positions, I want them guys there as soon as possible. And he should have been there waiting for Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers particularly
Right.
asked for him.
I also saw Arthur Smith made a comment about we didn't trade for DK Metcalf to run a wishbone offense.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to trust everything you say, Mr. Smith, because
Arthur Smith. Interesting enough, man, Aaron Rodgers gives you a lot of shit. I mean, in terms of like, he gives you he gives you lines and quotes and statements that could lead you in so many different directions. So like there was some part within like his question, his answer regarding Arthur Smith. Yeah, well, I mean, paraphrasing again. Arthur will call something in, and if I don't like it, it was something along the lines of like they're going to have to meet between the two minds and come to an agreement is the way I'm interpreting that. But let's not make any mistakes about this. This is a new offense for him, so he is going to. I think what he meant to say was like, I'm going to attempt to learn his entire playbook. If there's something that I'm not comfortable with, then we'll run another play that's my play. Like I mean, without actually saying it like that, I think that's where he was trying to go. I think Rodgers will throw tantrums if he don't get what he wants. Well, from everything that we're hearing, even prior to the signings, this is his last dance. The Last Dance, the famous documentary of the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. He's on a 1-year contract that's worth pennies to him. He said that he did not come back, make this decision out of ego. Okay. Look, he came because of Mike Tomlin. He came because of the Steelers organization. Excuse me. Does he really want to be the one that breaks them apart? I don't think that's possible.
he came because he's the only team that wanted to sign him.
I don't think that's possible. Yeah, right. I mean, you're not going to hear him say, I mean, I really preferred to go to the Vikings, but like they're really high on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
I tried to go to LA and stay in California, but like, they wanted to go with Matt Stafford, and they came to an agreement. You're not going to hear that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't, not because I didn't like Tomlin. I don't. I don't. What do you like about him? He's a good head coach. He's a good head coach. He's too stuck. How about that?
Yeah, he is.
He's too stuck.
He is. And I look, as a former defensive player, and I love defense, I do, but defense does not win championships like it used to. It doesn't. You gotta be able to be explosive on the offense a little bit. You gotta be able to put some numbers up and not just rely on the defense to just completely, destroy you on one side. He has to find a real quarterback for the long term, and even for the now too.
That's part of the question.
I know Aaron Rodgers.
Will be crashing out. I heard StreamYard had some issues, folks. Hello, everybody from the Disco Ball and the Disco Raid. How are you? Nick, Kobe and the Cattle Dogs. Mosi, Disco Raid. Yeah, I think we might be. I don't know if we're going in between both streams, maybe, if that's even possible. Hi, Disco. Oh yeah, we're crashing out, baby. I love it. Smash the likes. Yes, Les. Let's go. Do you see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's just keep it rolling. I don't know what to tell you. Hi, James. Sniper, does that mean that Sniper Mel thinks? Does Sniper Mel think that she's in the Big Draft Energy channel or the Fantasy Goats channel?
Just go stream to Spanish and send us over it.
Look at these beautiful jets. This will stream, and he sent. Oh, look at that! Now that is fantastically magnificent.
All right, let's get going here.
Much appreciation there. Hello, Odysseus. Here I am thinking that this was like a glitch because today StreamYard glitched. Sniper Mel, okay, all right. Look, there was a StreamYard glitch today, and I'm paranoid sometimes. Fantasy Goat Raid, I'll take it. Hell yeah.
How about ADP Raid?
ADP Raid. Commissioner Rhino, give me somebody whose ADP is so far out of line, out of order, out of whack, that it just does not make any sense to us, and you're most likely going to pass because of that ADP. Give me somebody, please.
Should we just come in hot? CMC.
Come in hot.
Of course.
I'm not taking CMC.
It can't be
I'll take Bucky Irving. I'll take Josh Jacobs. I'll take Lad McConkey.
McConkey.
Yeah.
McConkey.
Jonathan Taylor. I'll take all of them before CMC. All of them. I don't trust. With me, I don't. If someone's come off injury year, and they're ranked that, and the ADP is that high, I'm not going to trust that. Especially if it's an older player. I'm gonna go for. Won't reach, but I'll get a younger player that wasn't injured last year that I know that could do good.
That we hope could do good. I mean, right? Not that we want them to do good, of course.
I have more assurance with like Bucky Irving or Josh Jacobs doing good than I do CMC. They're not coming off injuries.
And he's definitely coming off of them, that's for sure. And I think that, would you agree or disagree that the ADP that is currently for Christian McCaffrey is basically because of his resume, his track record.
Oh yeah.
His track record.
Big time.
Should it be lower due to the fact of age bias? Sure. It could be lower. Should it be lower based on his injury history, which is well documented and I kind of border his injury history on like problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't just that. Last season is just not that. That's not an isolated season of injury.
No.
You know that like it's another season of injury. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it, and yeah, the ADP may be too high for most.
But I don't know what it is because I felt this way too, and I haven't been seeing many mini camp reports of the 49ers, but his ADP has actually been creeping up even a little higher. I mean, I think the last time we talked about him, he was about 2.6, 2.7. But I mean, as here recently, he's going up as high as 2.1. If you look at
going in the first round too in some drafts. And
I was going to say,
I see somewhere he's gone in the middle of the first round. I was like, what the hell? I don't. Okay, you go, because that means if I'm sitting at 10, 11, 12, I'm gonna have a good player. If somebody's drafting him that high.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm not sure where the smoke's coming from. But like you said, I already said it before. I'm not taking a running back in the early parts of the second round who has 2 filleted Achilles. I can't do that. They're just too tender. And also, like we were discussing, the O line is absolutely dreadful.
Yeah,
running backs need an O line to run. Saquon showed us that if you have an O line, you'll be great. But if you don't, you'll just be another guy.
Yes, you will.
Well, I mean, look, we've said this also. This is the ultimate freaking dice roll. This is the ultimate, like, sitting down at the table. The dealer's got the 10. You know what I mean? You've got the 6. Now what? You're gonna have to hit, or you don't hit. This is the ultimate gamble. It's your risk tolerance. It really is.
Yeah, and if you do draft him, you better make sure you get some solid running backs to back that up. To carry that weight in case it falls.
And that's not even a set in stone RB2. It's not. I mean, like, I think we all are going into next month's camp with Isaac Orendo as the RB2. I don't think that's set in stone. I really don't.
I'm not going to say that. I'll see where everything plays out between him and Jordan James.
Well, that's a great point too. That's a fantastic point. I'm still on the fence with this selection here, Commissioner. I am, because I feel like if he does stay healthy for 17 games, I think we're going to get him just where he is, with the upside of finishing perhaps top 3 RB. Perhaps.
It's the ultimate risk and reward.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, it's your risk. It's your risk tolerance. Absolutely. All right. Let's go. Let's talk about another one. I'll go. I'm going to go a little bit deeper down the trough, if you will. Well, no, I think I know one of JX's. And again,
I don't think you do.
Well, at least one. But let's hold them there, because I've got a wide receiver here whose ADP, whose ADP is like silly. For the first time in his life, his ADP is this. That's Cortland Sutton. Cortland mother-loving Sutton, folks. The presumed Denver wide receiver 1. The 29-year-old who is coming off of He's coming off of 2 seasons that have been good. They have. I think on 2023, he wound up having 10 touchdowns. Last year was 8, or vice versa. 1,000-yard seasons. Yes, great. Fantastic. This guy is in a wide receiver room. Now, again, the presumed wide receiver 1, but if he looks as though he has lost a step, which he's not very fast to begin with, because he can't really separate that much to begin with, he's got a crowded wide receiver room. Like I said, he's turning 29, or is 29. Okay, I mean, we saw the emergence of other wide receivers from last season. I'm not just talking about who they drafted this year in Pat Bryant, a rookie. We may see him emerge. We may not see him emerge. We talked about Troy Franklin yesterday. Possibly, potentially. Again, a crowded wide receiver room where if Cortland Sutton isn't really Bo Nix's guy, I think you're going to see Cortland Sutton not have the same season as he just did these previous two, which makes him a regression candidate. All right, to go back to his career numbers, which are not good whatsoever. And yeah, okay, Cortland Sutton is a 5th-round draft pick. Fine. I mean, if I drafted Cortland Sutton in the 5th round, folks, I would be like, I'd be a scared fantasy kitten. Be shitting kittens.
Yeah.
If you told me Cortland Sutton was a little bit lower, then I'd be happier. I'd be happier if he was. I'd be happy if he was going where Calvin Ridley is. I'd be happier if he was in the 7th round, where Khalil Shakir. That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
His recent stat line from last year has got him pushed up into this 5th round territory. Forget it. He's
Yeah,
not.
that's actually pretty good one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That ain't it. I'm sorry. So that's one person again, not at this ADP in the 5th round.
No.
I mean, look, what I know again, JX. I'm not trying to pick on JX Fantasy and his and his business attire. I'm not, but he's not a believer. I'm a believer. I am.
Believer too.
The Rhino is a believer. I hope that many of the goats here are believers. But if you're in the JX Fantasy camp, you may not be a Bo Nix lever. If Bo Nix has taken a step forward this season, he may wind up connecting with Marvin Mims on a regular basis. We've got Devon Veal, another great target. Now maybe it's the rookie that they finally found. Cortland Sutton is the Broncos staple. He's not Sean Payton's guy. Cortland Sutton wanted out last year. Or he still wants a new contract, and that doesn't seem to be getting. I think Cortland Sutton's going to fall back down to earth, folks. And Sniper, if you're going to take Cortland Sutton in the 5th round, it could be problematic.
Yep. Agreed.
Good. Well, not good. Yes.
Because I think he might start the season and get a majority of the targets, but once everything ramps up, especially like Pat Bryant ramps up, and then just say Troy Franklin takes the next step, they'll take over those targets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey! Let's not forget. I'm glad that we didn't forget. This is a running back room that is targeted the most by their quarterback. How about that? They brought in Evan Ingram. Let's not forget about Evan Ingram.
Oh man, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cortland, it's been a nice career for you. It really has. And again, JX, if this man was going a little bit later, I would feel more comfortable having him as a wide receiver 3, maybe even better on the bench. Much more comfortable than having him in the 5th round.
He was my favorite. I think the past 2 seasons, he was my favorite wide receiver 3 because I knew what kind of upside he could get. Being a wide receiver 3. He was constantly going in between round 9 to 11 last year. I still think that should be kind of where he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's not an amazing ceiling. There's not. There's 11 points per game, 12 points per game, and then he scores that touchdown one week, and it's like, oh, he got you 15 points per game. But there's not a lot of explosion, efforts happening with him. Yeah, like I said, round 5 is just a little bit too rich for me.
Did his season last year say I'm around 5 next year?
No.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Not at all.
So people, they're guesstimating because Bo got better that he'll get the targets and the yards and stuff, and that's just you can't
recency biased.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh.
You just can't look in the. I mean, I get they're supposed to look in the future. I know average draft position, but who's actually drafting him at number 5? I mean, in the 5th round.
Same people, the same people are drafting Christian McCaffrey in the 1st.
Yes.
Maybe, bro. Maybe.
Yes. To as simply as put, yes. It's those drafters, individuals that, look, I'm a big Bo Nix guy, or I loved what he did last season, and I think they're only going to get better. But you've got, I mean, at least me, Rhino, and I'm sure plenty of others, and Sniper, and plenty of others along with Sniper. Yes, like this is potential regress candidate. Absolutely. Who's next?
Who do you got, bud?
Who else? Who else's ADP is scaring us to death?
Man, I'm gonna hurt Rhino's heart here. I have Kyron Williams.
Oh no, I'm right there with you.
Okay, good then. Good.
Come on,
current
man.
ADP of round 3, pick 3. I know everyone's like, oh man, I can't believe I'm about to get this top 12 running back in round 3. This is an easy press. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. That's a trap. Them drafting Jarquez Hunter told us everything we needed to know.
Right. Exactly.
They told us that we're looking for something different because what we have now is not working. From last year, 4.1 yards per carry, that's 25th in the NFL. 2.7 yards after contact, that's 27th in the NFL. Explosive run rate, 5.7, that's 29th in the NFL. And he's not a great receiver out the backfield either. He's only had 32 catches and 34. And then the thing that makes every Rams fan just absolutely, just cry is those 9 fumbles. Those 9 fumbles over the past 2 years.
Oh, God.
You can't be small, unexplosive, can't catch the football, and fumble the ball. You can't do all those things. I think that Corum and Jarquez are going to take away the only thing that makes them valuable. And that's avoiding that top 12 running back in the 3rd round that you just are like, I can't wait to ride him till the end of the season. No.
So I think I agree with everything you said. I think Hunter's a better prospect than Corum. I think Corum, unless he got better at pass pro, I think that was one of his main issues last year was pass pro. That's why he wasn't in there that much.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the exact same as Kyron. Kyron's on his contract year. He's playing nice. He's been a leader and everything. If the Rams sign him before the season starts, then I can see this ADP being all right. But even then, I think Hunter's going to be get into especially on pass down, because McVay said last year that we need to get better. I need to find the Bucky Irving of
scheme versatility.
Yeah.
We need more scheme versatility.
We need to be more speed, have more speed, because defenses have figured out our offenses.
And you said already too. We're in June. He doesn't have a contract. What teams give contracts out like they're nothing? We do.
Yeah.
We will give someone a contract if they show any kind of glimpse of anything.
But they gotten better, because remember Ernest Jones last year? they gotten better about that. But Ernest Jones also had a little bit of attitude problem.
Travis Hunter doesn't have a contract yet. Shamar Stewart doesn't have a contract yet, but I get what you're saying. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, Kyron's played NFL football. Them guys have it.
Yes.
They've watched Kyron. They've watched Kyron Williams for 3 seasons. They're like, nah. I remember when they paid Goff before they could. They paid Gurley before they could. They paid Cup before they could. They paid everybody before they could. and they're just waiting to the end with Kyron Williams, yeah, I don't think he's going to be getting a contract here. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. If he does, it'll be for like 12 or 13 million. That's it. Maybe
It
for
could.
2 years, if that.
Well, let's not forget. It could also be Kyron. Could be
Oh, yeah,
outside. Could be Kyron camp. Not to get too much into contract negotiations and disputes. Here's the other thing that I find kind of fascinating, right? I mean, I would say, well, yeah, Jacquez Hunter didn't he was like a 6th, 7th round draft pick. He doesn't have the draft capital, but neither does Kyron Williams, for that matter. So I can't really even use that as an excuse.
Yeah. Jarquez got drafted higher than Kyron did. Jarquez got drafted in the 3rd, 4th round.
Was he?
Yeah,
They
moved up.
They reached for Jarquez, yeah.
So, and that's another thing that they're not going to just not let him play because they reached up to get him.
Still, yeah. Let's get back to the ADP though. I mean, Kyron Williams in the 3rd round. I mean, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know.
I said, round 3, pick 3. He's at right now, and I would take where you can take him. You could take Josh Allen. You could take Trey McBride. You could take Chase Brown. You could take Breece Hall. You could take Jaden Daniels. You could take his teammate. You can take a chance on Devontae Adams. All those are a lot better options for me than
in a mock draft that me and Rhino did. I mean, yeah, Chase Brown went ahead of him. Jonathan Taylor went ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Tyreek Hill went. Tyreek Hill is a good candidate for this discussion.
Yeah.
But again, Tyreek Hill in the 3rd round isn't necessarily like a trap. It's to me. I look at it as a possible home run. You're getting him at it. You look at this discount that you have on Tyreek Hill at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of feel like Kyron Williams is a tough case. It really is. Because his numbers suggest that he should be higher, but he's actually a little bit lower than where he's at. When are y'all going to do that?
Like I said, it is sad to say he might even need to be lower. Because he is at a discount right now. For where his numbers were last year, he's at a discount right now. But I think he should be even more of a discount.
2nd round last year.
Where was he at last year?
I think it was first and early 2nd round last year.
Yeah, he was a 1-2 turn.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of this could also be a little bit of smoke. I think Kyron Williams is still a good running back. I'm not trying to dispel the case for why the ADP may be a trap, may not be a trap, but it's kind of it's weird. It's certainly a weird ADP. If there's for a guy whose production would suggest that he should be around 1. Should be.
Yeah.
Should be.
Okay.
All right.
Give me someone.
I will go Chris Godwin in round 6. Again, coming off injury.
Damn.
There's no report. I haven't heard anything of when he's coming back, and that's not an easy injury to come back from. When you could get Jordan Addison at 66. You get Rome Odunze. I take Rome Odunze in this before him. I'm not taking Godwin at 6 in the 6th round. No way.
This is so tough for me because Chris Godwin was so good last year that
right.
I mean, you can look at this both ways, as a trap or as a discount. I'm more in the discount area opposed to the trap area. But he was just so good, and yes, I know it was a bad injury and took him off for the rest of the season. But I just keep going. It was a clean break. It's fine. It's a clean break. It's not one of those nagging injuries. But like I said, we never know. But yeah, I'm more towards the discount camp than the trap camp at this moment.
They seem to be silent. There's too much silence going on about about it. You know, he could start the season on the pub list.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, that's why it's a trap though, because it's like
Yeah,
you can take it as bad that you don't hear anything, but I kind of take it as good. You know, hear anything because that to me, if I don't hear anything, that tells me he's on par with the course and that he's just doing the same old stuff. Like I said, it could be bad that we haven't heard that Chris Godwin's not lighting it up at camp.
yeah.
It's tough.
I like winning too much to take chances like that. I've done that in the past, and it came back to bite me in the ass. So now it's like, man, I just nope.
See, I'm holding my take because I've got a Buccaneer also.
Evans.
Yes. Mike Evans. Now, look, but before we get to Mike Evans, regarding the point on Chris Godwin and like we're not hearing anything, like that could just also be like that could be a product of like the organization, right? That could be a product of like, yo, this is like very, I don't want to say professional because most are, but like, like there's just nothing to report. He's behind the scenes. He's not out on the field. Like they maybe they have it buttoned up where, there's just much more, there's greater media attention in certain markets, certain teams, certain players. Chris Godwin, the last thing we heard was that he could have gotten more, but wanted to take less and stay with Tampa Bay. What we do know, he broke his ankle or he dislocated his foot. Mm-hmm. That sounds kind of serious when you're 28, 29 years old and you have to run routes. B, look at how they invested in their wide receivers the last 2 years.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Now, Mike Evans' case, Mike Evans' ADP, again, the Chris Godwin ADP, his stats are baked right into it. So, like, if you look at his stats and you want to do side-by-sides with all the other players that are around him, he should be right there. But no, it's too high for where Chris Godwin is in his career, in his trajectory, which is not going up anymore. It's plateaued. It's going back the other way, and so is Mike Evans. We're talking about over 30, just got over 1,000 yards in week 18. Yes, 11 touchdowns. Yes, he is like a Hall of Famer, but again, I don't see this man making it a full 17-game season without reducing the amount of snaps that he plays. If they're going to continue to use Mike Evans on a full-time basis, you're not going to get Mike Evans for 17 games. So pick which one you want. I think the Bucs are picking, let's reduce his snaps. Let's not have him out there as much. You know why? Let me take a guess.
We got two studs.
His name is Mother Effin Mbuka. And yes, and then we have a burning star in Jalen McMillan. Absolutely. We've got two very young, potential dogs. At least Jalen McMillan, we have the evidence. We have it. With Mbuka, we believe that based on the prospect that he is and his draft capital and his pedigree. Mike, again, this is strictly based on the fact that if Mike Evans was 28, 27, his ADP is probably too low. Probably, but he's not. He's 31. This could very well be his last season. Is he still elite when he's on the field? Yeah, he is. He's still playing at elite, but again, nagging injury cost him out. Games missed. Tampa Bay knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not the Jets. They're not the Browns. Tampa knows what they're doing.
They do.
Mike.
I got a question for you guys because I think like the more I've been thinking about this, Jalen McMillan is just not going to go away. I am 100% that they have found their replacement for Mike Evans, right? I think Egbuka is there to see if they have the replacement for Chris Godwin. So
Good call.
as progressive as the NFL is nowadays, usually it used to be, we draft a guy and it takes them like 2 to 3 years to get year one. They're kind of the guy, right? So I'm asking, after this season, who's less likely to be with the team, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin?
Mike Evans.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm just picking
Yeah.
A or B, I'm gonna go with the one who's older.
Yeah, I think Mike Evans last season.
Yeah.
And let's not, again, and I know that you guys know this, and I know that Sniper knows this, and I know that Disco knows this. I know that many know this. Chris Godwin can play out wide. He can play that X.
Yeah.
Is he as effective playing that role? No. But he can play that role. And I'm also confident, on the flip side to that, I'm also confident that Mbuka can play both or any role for that matter.
For Ohio State, so.
Therefore, ergo is one of my favorite words, by the way.
Big vocab guy. Big vocab.
Therefore, right? Mike Evans, relax a little bit. Relax, have some laughs. Put on a headset.
Read a book.
I don't want him reading a book. As much as I don't really want him reading a book. We can reserve that for another wide receiver. Yeah, and we like look again. We at least we have the evidence with Jalen McMillan for sure. I don't know why we're going to write Jalen McMillan off. Jalen McMillan is one of the candidates who, on our previous show, breakout wide receivers. Absolutely, year 2 wide receiver. He's someone who's going god awfully low because of how crowded of a wide receiver room it is, and why is Chris Godwin going in the 6th round is insane to me. At least Mike Evans is not as insane. I know exactly why Mike Evans is going in round 3, because of his numbers. Let me ask you guys a question. Rams. Snipe. Mike Evans or Davante Adams?
Davante Adams.
As unbiased as an answer I can give, Davante Adams.
Because we're talking about a dude that is basically the same age, basically.
Mm-hmm.
2 Hall of Fame wide receivers, Super Bowl champions. Now I would put Davante Adams. I would put them in the same tier, with Davante Adams up top of that tier and Mike Evans at the bottom of that tier. Because you could even say the quarterbacks are pretty parallel to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. But Davante Adams is far superior. Not for some reason, but he is more superior than Mike Evans is.
He's an elite route runner.
Yeah, he just has more ability that ages better. It does. Yeah. Mike Evans
and he's been healthy his career too.
Yeah, that too.
It's facts, yes, without question. I'm wanting to throw that out there because Davante Adams and Mike Evans are going basically a pick or 2 apart in the same round. I would feel comfortable having Davante Adams there, not Mike Evans. And for all the reasons that we just laid out. If you guys are just joining us, please give us a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Probably should have done that 20 minutes ago, but I didn't. Hopefully you just did it. Love you guys. Love this fucking shit. Love this community. Love that girl. Who's next?
Jazz got one more?
Yeah, I got one more for us so we can squeeze it in here. Devon Achane. Yeah, he's a trap. And it's not because of the ability or anything, because he was RB5 last year, but we are just too Tua dependent for Mr. Achane. Tua has played one full season in 5 years. When Tua doesn't play, he has 8.7 points per game. For when Tua is healthy, he has 22.5 points per game. And one underrated aspect of this, that when I was looking into Mr. HN is he's not very good in the red zone and the goal line. He's not.
Hmm.
He was 12th amongst running backs in carries, under 5 yards, and he only converted that at 21%. And like I've been saying, I'm a big fan of looking at things when you have two things that are alike, right? So you have Devon Achane, who's a speedster, and Jalen Wright, who's also a speedster, and then they drafted Ollie Gordon, who's a bruiser. So if you're drafting Ollie Gordon as a bruiser, that's telling me that you want better goal line work, and he's there to steal a couple touchdowns.
Jalen Wright last year, Ollie Gordon this year. If Tua, that is one of the wackiest, by the way, splits circumstances that I've come across in a while. When the starting quarterback goes out, the running back just falls off of a cliff. What do we think is going to happen if Tua goes down again and this man is the quarterback? Hopefully Rhino could come on to this. There he is. That's what happens when Tua goes out. He goes in. But yeah, it's one of the. I may have a tougher time with Devon Achane than I would CMC. And I don't really like the Dolphins team. I think the Dolphins team peaked a couple of seasons ago. I don't like the organization, and I don't like the head coach. Not that he's a bad guy. Not that he's a bad. Well, yeah, he's a bad head coach. He's probably a much better play caller. Is a better play caller than he is a head coach.
Yep.
And one other thing too is the fact that Jalen Wright, they drafted Jalen Wright last year, and he's a bigger back than Achane.
Mm-hmm.
He can do the things that Achane can't. Achane's a great receiver, but in between tackles,
he's a great receiver. Well, no, it's crazy. His first season, he had like over a nine yards per attempt.
Yeah, and that's what scares me even more with them, right? Like, so I didn't even think about that. Like, that scares me even more.
Then it went down. Then it went down last season, but I think you know why it went down last season.
Didn't play Denver last season. I mean, if you think about all those yards in that one game,
a lot of it was.
Now, to his credit, it was just that one game, but he was constantly doing like 10 carries, 100 yards, like 3 or 4 weeks too. Like he was incredibly efficient. But as in his second season, as the workload increased, he got worse as a runner. You know, like the catches saved him alone.
If you think about that too, the fact that part of that might have been the fact that Tua was hurt, so they're stacking the box. If Tua is healthy, they can't stack the box because you have to worry about Hill and Waddle and everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why he had issues last year, is because he's just not one of those running backs that can handle a stacked box.
Right now, he's going 15th overall. I'm taking Drake London. I'm taking Bucky Irving. I'm taking Josh Jacobs, Lab McConkey, and Brock Bowers at the very least.
Let's see. Devon Achane 2.6 last night. So yeah, AJ Brown was on the board. Allen, McBride, T, McConkey, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was on the board.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
He went in the third round. That was my pick, by the way. Chase Brown. Yeah, I mean, there's still the element of him being explosive. There's still the element of him being a very good pass catcher. We know that he is he is going to be the lead back going in. Now, what kind of role Jalen Wright carves out, what kind of role that Ollie Gordon may carve out, Again, this team, if this team is humming, if this team is firing on all cylinders, which I doubt, we know that McDaniels is going to, he likes two running backs. He likes to use both. We saw it with Raheem Mostert. We saw that.
Sometimes 3 running backs.
Sometimes you get a little
Jeff Wilson in there here and there.
Yes, Jeff Wilson, absolutely. I was thinking more along the lines of the Buccaneers situation. Mm-hmm. But the Bucky Irving, by the way, that Bucky Irving ADP, I don't want to spend too much time on this. That kind of scares me. I don't think it's a trap, but that could go sideways if Rachaad White's getting attempts. If Bucky Irving doesn't have the same success as he did last season. Bucky Irving it didn't come into last year's draft as highly touted.
No, he was pretty much going undrafted last year.
Buccaneers hit a home run with it in the 5th round, but it wasn't like they were drafting the next Bijan, or it wasn't like drafted. They didn't swing and miss with Jonathan Brooks. They sat back and waited, and they got that might come back to haunt us. Might come back.
I'll say one thing about Bucky, and this is the reason why I think he'll continue to be successful. One thing that you can't measure, because everyone watches the combine and everything first. You can't measure how elusive someone is. And that's what all Bucky Irving. He can't be touched.
Yeah, so if you look back at his film from Oregon, you could see that he was out.
It's a really good lesson, and I'm glad that I'm remembering this. So, aside from the fact of the mock draft that we did last night, just to have this tool in front of me, I also took a look at a draft from last year in the Jazzy League. But the Jazzy League, that other league.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So round 5, Rachaad White.
Right, because everybody was high. Yeah.
That was preseason, obviously. Rachaad White went in the 5th round. So that's just a perfect example, folks. 5th round, 6th round. I'm not saying that all of these players that go in these rounds are going to wind up being like a detriment to your team. I'm not saying that, but they may be going too high. The ADP is not correct on a lot of these guys. We've mapped out a handful of them for you today. We mapped out CMC, not correct. Based on numbers, based on injury, not correct. Cortland Sutton, certainly not correct. Overall talent, overall environment, ecosystem, not correct. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I don't know which one I don't. I'm not sure which one of those two I prefer or not prefer, I should say. Because both of them aren't correct.
Yeah.
George Pickens went in the 5th round. You really want to start getting down to it? George Pickens, the wide receiver 2 on the Cowboys, is a 5th round pick. I don't see that paying off. I don't.
I think he's going to 3rd round last year, 2nd or 3rd round last year.
I don't see the George Pickens 5th round ADP, paying off one bit.
Jerry Jeudy, round 6. I don't see that paying off either.
Mm-mm. I got another little flyer. Xavier Worthy was that the 5th, I think? No.
Yeah. I got him in the 5th right here.
Yeah.
That scares me, Sniper. It scares me. I want him, or I think a lot of us believe that most of his success did come after the Rice injury.
Or is it the fact that
That's true. It's true.
He got to know the system better, too.
And he got more comfortable.
So the game slowed down for him.
Not only did he get more comfortable, they got more comfortable with him.
Mm-hmm.
And opened up the playbook for him.
Yeah.
And they got him downfield. So that's still going to remain. But what happens if Rice does return to full strength, does operate in the middle of the field, the underneath stuff? That means Pat Mahomes has to get Xavier Worthy the ball downfield enough of a time, also known as volume, for it to pay off for us.
Exactly, and is it because it's not just Rashee Rice. I think everyone forgets that Hollywood Brown is also on the team. Everyone forgets that Travis Kelce is still there. He is still there, and then Jalen Rose is a very good wide receiver.
Yes,
he's a very good wide receiver. There's a lot of mouths to feed in Kansas City very quietly.
Who's the other one you said? Ross? Who?
Royals.
Jalen Royals. Yeah, Royals from Utah State. They drafted him 4th round.
Yes. No, I don't. No, Jalen Royals, I didn't forget. But there's another guy there too, unless they released him or
Juju.
Juju still there?
Yeah, Juju's still there.
That's a lot of wide receivers. That's a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wide receivers because, like, as crazy as this, I mean, it's like almost like a contradiction, right? Or it's almost like it doesn't make sense. Their wide receiver room has been like shit while they've been still winning Super Bowls on top of it. Their wide receivers have not really panned out. Boy, did we see that exposed as well during the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think they're definitely coming in with a different game plan. If they want to see Rice and Worthy on the field at the same time, playing like at full strength. But, yeah, let's get right back to Xavier Worthy in the 5th round. I want him. I love the talent. I think this is a new prodigal son of Tyreek. But, no, I want Xavier Worthy in the 7th round where he was going last season. Where he was going last year, not in the 5th round. I think he
brings the same risk, the exact same risk as last year. He brings the exact same thing.
But he's a year into the system, though, too.
Yeah, and like I said, that's understandable. But there's so like Hollywood Brown did not play any games last year. Rashee Rice got hurt last year. Who else? They had to trade for DeAndre Hopkins because the wide receivers were so bad and so injured last year. I don't think that's going to happen twice where they just lose everybody in the wide receiver room and they only have to depend on Xavier Worthy.
I mean, we spoke of the breakout potential. He came on real strong in the second half of the season. Again, this is just going to come down to how much has he matured over this offseason, right? How much is he utilized? What kind of volume he's going to get? And, yeah, it could go either way. It could very well come back to bite us. But the potential for a breakout is there. It is. Sniper, I think, likes Hollywood because of the name. I think it's probably the name that draws the sniper to Mr. Brown.
As far as Genty goes, I don't know. It's hard to say if he'll live up to the hype. I think he's going to have a good season, but I don't know. I don't know about living up to the hype. It's a lot of hype on him. Running behind a middle of the, huh?
Is he a trap or is he just an all-out reach? Which one is he?
I think he might be a trap too.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Big time. Trap. Big time trap.
Hype trap.
Yeah. If he came to me, I'd trap him too.
To answer the question, though, it is kind of loaded because, like, he's coming in as the first running back taken in this draft in a really, really good running back class. He is slated to have all the volume for that position, for that team, more or less. But he's still coming in as a rookie running back. I'm sorry. I don't think Saquon busted out of the gate as a rookie. We all know Bijan Robinson didn't.
I think Saquon did.
Yes, I think Saquon did.
Yeah.
I think he did.
But I think he's running behind a really good offensive line that time too.
Yeah, different situation.
If Genty is running behind the Eagles' offense line. Oh hell yeah, buying that hype all day, all night, big time. But
Still,
I love my Raiders, but the O line is a little bit, as the kids say, sus.
it's not. It's let's not forget. Let's not pretend that Ashton Genty just like landed in the NFC South either,
Yeah,
or the
Yeah.
AFC South for that matter. I mean, he is playing in a tough division. I think. Look, will he have a good season? I think Rhino like put it that way. Yes, I think he'll have a good season. He's going to live up to that standard, that quote unquote hype. I don't think it'll pay off at the ADP. I don't. Look at, I mean, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's a late first round on this draft. Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards for crying out loud, and he's a first round pick at 32. Now Ashton Genty is the next running back off the board without playing a snap in the NFL. That doesn't make too much sense to me.
I don't have all the numbers in front of me, of course, but I was looking at a list of players to have run over 1,500 yards the previous season. The next season, majority of them barely reached 1,000. Except he had 1,500, and then he had 2,000 next season. So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Sniper says Barkley did. Oh, Sniper's gonna make sure that she comes in to let us know Barkley. Saquon. She loves Saquon. She thinks Sniper rode Saquon all the way to his 2,000 yards last season. But are you going to take him in round one? I'm not taking him in round one.
No. Like I say, you don't take running backs who run for 1,500 yards. The next season, they usually fall off a cliff or just another running back.
But I understand where many will have the dilemma, especially like if they're in that 110, 111, 112, or
If I'm right there, I'm taking Genty.
at the turn.
Yeah.
In the first.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take a flyer. Well, depends what's there around me though too.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Not what's around. Bucky Irving's around you. We know how you feel about CMC. A-Chain will be around you. Derrick Henry might be around you.
Mm-hmm.
Puka was a first-round pick here, but I've seen Puka go a little bit later. I've also seen Puka go a little bit earlier. I mean, shit. A lot of it has to do with also how you're going to construct your roster. It's tough to get.
Yeah.
It will. That's all part of it. And the scoring, of course, is going to be all part of it. If this is a half PPR where, you're missing that extra half a point, and I don't mean the premium for the tight end. And, a running back I may consider over the wide receiver at that point, for sure. We can't talk about how I'm going to draft, though.
Yeah.
You know what? She doesn't want to divulge her secrets. I get it. Believe me, I get it. All right. Great show, Sniper. We'll see you tomorrow. If you're hanging around here, we will be back. We'll do a mock draft tomorrow, I think. I know. We're going to do a mock draft. If you're still with us right now, please give us a like and subscribe. If you're watching us right now, subscribe to the FantasyGoats channel. If you guys have anything else you want to say before we take off for the evening?
Be the difference, make a difference.
Be a difference and make the difference. JX?
2 more Pacers. 2 more.
Pacers, man. They're a good basketball team. Especially that Obi Toppin.
God, whoever traded him away, man, what a mistake.
It's the Jets. It's the Jets. Same thing. Same thing.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Same freaking thing. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.